When it comes to pond rocks, I get asked the same questions over and over. What type should I use? How much do I need? And am I going to wreck my water chemistry? Today I'm going to answer all of it and show you why the right rocks can make or break your pond. G'day, my name is Kev, and my aim is to help you build and maintain a pond without spending a fortune. If that sounds like something that interests you, you might like to subscribe and visit my website, Ozponds.com. When it comes to rocks, probably the most common question I get is what types of rocks should I use in my pond? And honestly, I don't really care. Nature uses all sorts, sand, limestone, granite, you name it, and the water still flows just fine. The only thing I steer clear of is rocks that I know will disintegrate over time, and that just makes work for yourself later. Of course, different rocks can change the water chemistry. For example, limestone will raise pH and add calcium carbonate, which can make your water harder. Whereas granite tends to be more inert, it won't do much to the water chemistry, and if you're adding wood elements or lots of plants, they can help balance things out by naturally softening and buffering the water. I like to add rock and pebble. For me, there are 4 big reasons. Number 1, protecting the liner. They shield it from UV damage and help stop curious animals from clawing, biting, or puncturing it. Number 2, natural appearance. Bare liner looks like, well, bare liner. Rock and pebble blend the pond into the landscape and make it feel like it belongs there. Number 3 is the filtration power. All those surfaces give beneficial bacteria and biofilms places to live, and they help process nutrients and keep your water healthy. Number 4, habitat creation. Pebbles and crevices trap small amounts of dirt and debris, which in turn becomes food and shelter for the little critters that form the base of your pond's food chain. But if you want a completely clean pond, and you'll be vacuuming it all the time, you don't want to add rock and pebble. I personally like natural looking ponds, and I like the complete ecosystem approach. It suits my goals. When it comes to looks, I like using a mix of sizes. Big rocks are your friends. They hide those vertical liner edges and give you a more natural looking pond. I'll even pull the occasional rock out into the landscape away from the pond to make it feel like it belongs there. Small pebble have their own job. They provide more surface area for beneficial bacteria and microbes, which I already mentioned help keep the water clean and healthy. They're also great for backfilling behind larger rocks or for making planting pockets for marginal plants. Plants are not just pretty, they're filtration machines. Then you want some medium-sized cobbles. They bridge the gap between your big statement rocks and your smaller pebble. If everything's the same size, it ends up looking man-made, so the mix really matters. A little tip for protecting your liner, I sometimes use a non-woven geotextile both underneath and on top of the liner, a liner sandwich. I don't do it with every pond, but on bigger builds with heavy rocks, I like knowing I've gone the extra mile to protect the liner. Yes, it adds cost, but I sleep better at night. I've got links to liner and geotextile I use on Ozponds.com. Sometimes I just place a little pad of the geotextile under the larger, heavier rocks. People also ask, where do you get your rocks? Around here I go to garden supply centres, the same places you get mulch, sand and road base. They usually have rock and pebble, and if they don't, they often have contacts at quarries. Just keep in mind rock is heavy and transport costs a fortune, so I buy mine what's local and keep costs down. Then there's the dreaded, how much rock do I need? Honestly, I hate that question and I struggle with it myself. Aquascape has a decent rock calculator you can use as a starting point. Just remember, rock is often sold by weight, but we're thinking in terms of coverage and volume, so densities can throw your numbers around. And finally, what if I can't move big rocks? You can, it's just hard work, but doable. Or you can rope in some strong mates, or do what I wish I'd done and hire someone with a machine. When I built my dream pond, I got stuck on some giant rocks at the end, but I hired a bloke with a machine and he had them in place in 15 minutes flat. A good operator who's slung rocks before will make it look easy. I also use rocks in my bog filters, and there are diagrams and guides on Ozponds.com if you want a visual. You'll also find my step-by-step guide to building a complete ecosystem type pond on a budget if you're interested. I hope this helps answer your pond rock questions. If it did, tickle the thumbs up button. It helps me out, and I'll see you in the next one. Catch ya.